Welcome into the CHGO Bears Postgame Show presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app. Use promo code CHGO when you sign up. Someone please explain to me why I keep picking the Chicago Bears to win football games.
Because they can almost win.
I picked them too, and everybody else did here except for Corey Wooten. Congratulations, Corey Wooten. They should have won today. They absolutely should have won that football game, and for whatever reason, they just can't figure out this winning thing. And the final drive, I think, is what has everyone scratching their head right now. Taking a guy in Justin Fields who's getting worked on the sidelines. The massage thing is out. He can't move. First play, let's have him sprint out to the left and have him pick up 1 yard and nearly die. That was just bizarre. And then next play, run him again. Come on, man.
What was happening there? That honestly looked like they were actually trying to tank. Or like I don't know how else to explain that. What in the world are you doing? Fox had already shown like 5 different replays of moments where Justin Fields was like holding his hammy or like clearly wasn't 100% banged up.
Slow to get up all day.
He said on Wednesday he wasn't feeling great. Here you are at the end of the game and you're running him.
You got Trevor Siemian warming up after the first play where they have to burn one of their timeouts, and then they run him again.
It was as if it was the final drive of the Super Bowl, and he didn't have arms to throw the football, and this was the only way they could win a football game. Versus you're playing the Atlanta Falcons in a season when you're 3-7, and the game means absolutely nothing. I mean, let's be honest. It's probably better that, and it's annoying right now, but it's probably better that they lost. That was serious scratch your head.
But did he hurt? If he hurt his shoulder on that play, and that wasn't already something he was dealing with, that is complete negligence from the coaching staff.
Yes,
that play call made no sense. He's not 100%. You can't afford to lose him. He is your only offense. And you're losing.
I guess Brad Biggs just tweeted, according to Justin Bond in the chat, Brad Biggs just tweeted Justin Fields on cart going to med tent. I don't really know. It's after the game.
That doesn't make any sense. But listen, we saw him getting looked at.
That means he's going to get x-rays, probably.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, that makes sense. And
so was he playing the last 2 plays with a broken collarbone or something? Like,
oh, God.
I'm just saying, like, that was ridiculous.
It was.
Never mind that there was a late hit on that second play.
Well, absolutely.
Because I could go crazy about the refs, but I'm more upset about calling the play to run them in general.
That's why I wasn't even mad about the refs on that play. I mean, it was another example of him not getting a call where
Mariota gets
Kyler Gordon touched Mariota's shoe wrong, and so that was roughing the passer.
Mariota gets the call. Justin Fields
but it was such a stupid play call. Both of them, but especially the first one. Let's just run sprint left out of bounds.
It's like you have no faith that he can throw the football and or somebody can get open. And I don't know. Chase Claypool, we saw him once today. Darnell Mooney, we had some fun moments. He got in the end zone, yada yada. EQ had his moments too. I don't know.
Well, listen, this is Ed says it in the chat. This has RG3 vibes. That's what the Bears have to avoid now. He has answered the question as far as is he your franchise quarterback going into obviously the future and next season. Yeah. You cannot, the rest of the year we want to see he's must-see TV. I'm excited every Sunday to watch him play, but not at the risk of hurting whatever they're going to do next year. So I'm not in any hurry to have him prove it to me week to week on a team where he's running for his life on every single play.
John Davis here with a $10 super chat. The O-line is embarrassing. Justin is absolutely gassed. The D cannot get a damn stop. 2 quarterback runs with an injured quarterback, not to mention the late hits Justin is taking 2 with no call. Help him. Seriously, anybody help him. Anybody help this guy? Coaches, referees, teammates, anybody want to help him?
It's the worst day for the offensive line all season.
It's horrible.
All season.
So that was it. That's interesting too. Like, okay, Tevin Jenkins, you're active, but you're not playing. So what was the point? I'm not exactly sure.
Well, based on how Eberflus explained it this week, it's up to the trainer and the player. So the trainer cleared him to play, obviously, because he was active. And so did he just not want to play?
That's a great question.
I mean, I don't think that's really fair to put on Tevin, but that's based on what the head coach is saying during the week.
I don't know. I cannot answer that. Alex Leatherwood, hello. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
he's inactive again.
Yeah.
All right, the Duke 811 coming through with another 99.
What up, Duke?
99 super chat. Sorry to make this awkward, but why is it that Mariota gets his feet massaged? Why am I having so much trouble reading these?
I got you.
Massage and getting roughing call. Fields gets, thank you, Lawrence. Fields gets lit up by a defender. Okay, let me start this over. I apologize. Okay, so yeah, Mariota's getting a foot massage and he gets a roughing call.
Right.
It's funny. I like that. That was funnier than what I just said a few minutes ago. Fields gets lit up by a defender who can clearly see he's down on a knee, and it's fine. It's not the first time, and I'm beginning to think there's a racial component.
I wouldn't go there, Duke. I don't think that's it. I think it's more. He's a second-year player. The Bears are a 3-8 football team, and there's just no respect. But the one where he got hit that we're all talking about at the end of the game, he laid there, I think, fully convinced that there was a 15-yard penalty coming, 100 because time's running, and the Bears don't have a lot of time. And he literally was like, he didn't move, which I don't think it was because he was hurting. I think he was just convinced that that's obviously a penalty, so I don't need to go anywhere right now, and then he doesn't get the call. That's too bad. It's just and it's been pointed out, like that wasn't a bad slide by him.
The last play? No, he immediately went to grab his shoulder, and he's getting pounded. But I don't even want look, that is a completely valid conversation. We've talked about it a lot. We will continue to talk about it because Fields never gets the calls. The coach should never put him in that position.
Agreed.
It's ridiculous. And it's obvious that they're trying to just run that stretch, like sweep play, hoping he breaks one loose. But it's like, dude, pay attention. He's not running 100% right now. He's tired.
Yep.
He's out of gas. Nobody's helping him. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I have much confidence that them throwing the ball down the field in that situation would have gone well either. But you got to try. It's under 2 minutes.
Right. That's the beauty of this season. We are allowing growth to happen. Winning is not the number one important thing. Him being able to drop back and throw the football in that, when you absolutely need to have 3 points and or a touchdown to win it, that's what we're here for. That's that ding that we're all signed up for that. Let him grow. Why did Braggs leave the show? I miss him already.
Sure. I don't know, Braggs.
Maybe he went to go talk to himself in the closet, which I have a lot of Braggs when we get to Carman's house. By the way, we're gonna have fun on the show today too. This is not gonna be all meltdown central, but it's just it's an upsetting way to end the game. You've gotta keep your quarterback healthy, man, or do your best to keep him healthy.
Lawrence, I saw that John's tweet. Do we have that? Should we show that?
Sure, let's get that up.
I think we can. I don't see why not. So this should not be surprising considering the way that Justin Fields was holding his shoulder after the game. You see him grabbing it again.
It's
this
left
is from
shoulder.
We also
Adam
saw
John.
Nick.
Yeah, it says non-throwing shoulder. He's getting carted off for further evaluation. Typically, there's an X-ray room at most of these stadiums where they can at least take care of that before going back, back home to the team facility where they can do more
things that we don't want to see as he
just can't believe
goes by the media. Look at Moriano. Great performance.
Yeah.
Look at the Jordans. Great job by Nick right there.
But yeah, except where's his camera?
I was going to say, where's his beautiful
green Samsung
slacking
situation?
camera that makes phone calls?
But at least great positioning regardless. And I almost don't like if you had been riding by and just gave the thumbs up, hey, I'm okay there, Chicago media, Nicholas Moriano, report back to the Bears Postgame Show sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook that I'm good. And that's not what he did. He just went, my clavicle, my something.
So this gets back to, again, not denying that losing helps your draft pick. It's just a sort of a black and white thing there that's a good thing. But, like, again, at what point are you concerned about the way in which – because you said it right away, Carm. Should they have won this game today?
Yes.
Should they have won the game last week?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know about the other 2 weeks. They certainly had a chance to beat the Dolphins.
Look,
They certainly could have beaten the Dolphins. I don't know that they should have. Cowboys was a wash. They lost that game.
But
at what point are you concerned about that?
Well, here let's go through them real quick here. Okay, you're 2-1. All right, you're 2-1. Remember when the Bears were 2-1? It was Sunday, September the 25th. You went to the Giants game. How did you lose that game? Velus Jones muffs a punt. It's a one-score game. That was your last opportunity. That's not how you want to walk off the field. Then you go and you play the Vikings. How do you lose that game? You lose it when Amir Smith-Marset gets the ball ripped out of you on a drive to tie it up there. That's not how you want to lose a football game. Then you go on to the Commanders game. You throw a touchdown pass to Darnell Mooney. You throw a touchdown pass to Dante Pettis, and you lose that game 12-7. Not the way you want to lose a football game. That's 3 in a row, 3 games that you could have won that all ended in nauseating fashion. So you beat the Patriots. Dallas is a legitimate loss. How do you lose the Dolphins game? I don't even remember right now what nauseating thing happened at the end of that game. But do you? What happened in the Dolphins game? Seriously,
they gave it the block punt. That wasn't how they lost.
That was one of them. I feel like there's. I can't remember the last possession of the Dolphins game. But okay, then we go to Detroit.
They did have the ball late because it was back-to-back weeks where they could have had a chance to win.
Yeah, and then the Lions game. Remember what happened in the Lions game right now.
Oh, yeah, everybody remember what happened in the Lions
game. Another 31-30. Braggs is coming back. He's okay. Was that a bathroom emergency? Don't let anybody know, but if it's okay. Braggs has got the runs. This is the show.
I wasn't going to go there. I was just going to say that the Bears made Greg Braggs
literally
physically
nauseous.
air.
I literally was nauseous from the end of that game.
Well, welcome back.
I'm back. We're going to play through it. If Justin Fields is going to play through it, I'm going to play through it. And if I pass out on this show, you just do it like, what was that one, where they take the guy to the parties, the movie? Yeah, Weekend at Bernie's. And I'll just lay here, and you guys finish without me.
I was not expecting a Weekend at Bernie's reference today, and I love it. I love it. Is this really from the end of the Bears game, though? From seeing Justin Fields getting you saw Justin Fields getting carted off and had to run.
I know, it makes me sick to my stomach.
Could have been the cream cheese.
Could have been the cream cheese.
It's not. I've had a lot of it. So
yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead.
Thank you so much, Casey.
Anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Just, we're gonna have all.
You're gonna bring your computer to the show.
Listen. It was a rough ending to the game, and we're all having our moment here. And I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Bragg smells very good right now.
No.
Sorry,
but hey, we're all here together. Do we have something? Yes. Oh no, not that. We need like Glade.
That might. You know what? It might help.
Yeah, we could use a.
I don't even know what's happening anymore.
Lysol, please.
This is
we're good. We're good. Everything's fine. Bears are good. It's all part of the. Listen, it's all part of the plan. The positive to all of this is that they have been in literally every game this year, minus the Cowboys game, and so they are close. I know that probably nobody wants to hear this right now, but they are close, and the quarterback. We have to wait and see, I guess, but let's just hope that he's okay. We don't need him to play any more games this year either, by the way, if he's not.
Like, I'm all for, like, all these, like, moral victories and stuff, like, fine.
I'm not even saying it's a moral victory.
Don't get the quarterback hurt
with
stupidity. If it's going to happen, which it might, because I've said this, and we've honestly had this conversation every single week. The biggest fear is that on one of these plays where he's running, he gets hurt. It could happen. It could happen on a drop back. Happen to any quarterback on any given play. But don't go out of your way to get him hurt. That's just.
Well, the RG3 comment to start the show is very spot on. They just were reckless with RG3. And then he was hurt, and they kept on putting him out there, and it sort of feels like that. The guy was banged up. You saw him on the side.
And they were fighting for a playoff spot.
Right. But so we're seeing Fields on.
Hold on. Can we talk about the fact that Braggs is just sucking on a lifesaver and talking?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to shake out of this.
You're good, but I'm just saying, like, look, he's laying on the sidelines on his stomach. We're seeing the trainers sitting there with the turbo massage thing. No bueno. No bueno. Not good, if anybody doesn't know Spanish. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we know it. No,
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
We figured that one out.
Thank you. Man.
All right.
I'll tell you this. We got a lot of super chats. We have, I believe, a Will DeWitt sighting. We got all kinds of things
in here.
You just tell me where to go, and I'm.
Let's start with our Fields guide. Let's do that. Let's talk a little bit about Justin Fields.
What's up, Green Ridge Farm?
Our Fields guide presented by Green Ridge Farm. Still a lot to like. The guy that gets no help whatsoever. Had a chance to go over on the passing yards, which was one of our prop bets before the game. Didn't happen. Finishes 14 for 21, 153 passing yards, 1 touchdown, the interception on that last drive, which, I guess you could argue David Montgomery should catch the ball, but it was a little high. Of course, he's also dealing with the shoulder, and that was clearly bothering him at the same time. So I don't know how much blame you're really going to give him for that. I got to say, only getting sacked 4 times in this game was impressive. He probably should have been sacked like 12 times.
Yeah.
And then, of course, another over on the rushing.
Over.
Look at that. He only finished with 85 yards. He hit that over in the second quarter.
Right. He had over 75 yards at the end of the first half.
So he really only had like
10.
10 in the second half.
Right.
And he was 20 yards away from going over passing when they get the ball to end the football game, and they run him twice, and then he throws a ball that could have been caught. It wasn't a good throw. I get it. But catch the ball. I understand how hard it is, but that it's you're jumping, but it wasn't a good throw. But come on, David Montgomery, who played it. David Montgomery played his ass off, by the way, and not belonging in Fields guides, but he was running hard all day.
Yeah.
There were some great moments. The throw to Monty down the right sideline.
Well, let's go through those 2 plays because there was 3rd and 3. He made a great pre-snap read to identify that they ran. It was like right at the snap. They ran the coverage back. Cole Kmet was going to be open. They had the right play call on. Justin read it. He kept the ball because it looked like there was an RPO on that play, and then he hit Cole Kmet. It was a great pre-snap read. So you give him a lot of credit for getting the first down. Then the very next play was he scrambles out to the right. He makes a great post-snap read on that play. Directs traffic, tells Cole to go here. Montgomery running down the sideline on the wheel. Throws a great ball in stride. I mean, those are 2 really, really important plays that matter when you're looking at passing game development, specifically in the passing game. Those are the plays that you want to see. I was very impressed with those back-to-back plays.
And we had perhaps the biggest help that he's ever gotten on any ball. The Cole Kmet catch was sweet.
Yes.
That was one-handed while getting hit. You cannot make a more difficult catch than that. Kmet's just having a breakout season week by week, so that was awesome to see.
The throw to Mooney to start the game. Yes,
Great
Mooney's
play call.
wide open, but the way he stood in the pocket, he didn't bail out, stood in there and made a great throw to the corner of the end zone. I mean, Justin Fields has proven everything to anybody that watches this team week to week, snap to snap. When you hear people say, oh, he's just a running quarterback, that's false. You watch him play. You watch him keep his eyes downfield when he's trying to do everything in the backfield while he's running for his life on some of these plays like you guys just pointed out. He shows he has the capability of being a pocket passer if the Bears could ever develop a consistent pocket. So, yeah, there shouldn't be any complaining about Justin Fields.
The missed bomb to Mooney was disappointing. He was wide open and he overcooked it. That would have been a huge play when the Bears were building momentum. The Bears should have had 24, 27 points at the half. I mean, that's the reality. They missed opportunities, and then got field goals, and I mean, there's no way that game should have been tied up 17-17 at intermission. That was a bad job.
They missed out on a lot of opportunities, and Fields misses that throw to Mooney. I think you can question the field goal. Then the decision to make the field goal.
Right, you took sacks. You got yourself out of field goal range. You're asking Cairo at a 56-yarder. Not good.
All right, well, let's go to blame game. I mean, I don't even care if it had to do with the loss or not. I'm blaming whoever was involved in the play calling on that last drive.
Yep.
Is what I'm going with. I'm not even sure it cost them the game. They were already losing the game at that point. But I'm just, of all the things you can't afford to do this season, making stupid decisions like that to get your quarterback hurt, you deserve all the blame in the world for that. That's where I'm going.
That's a solid start. I'm gonna nitpick someone for my blame game at the beginning. I don't know what Byron Pringle's doing on this football team, but the one time I saw him today, he's picking up a holding penalty that could have been not called but was a hold. Enough with the Byron favor of the Pringle. It's not gonna work. It hasn't worked out.
What did you just say?
I don't know. You got the fever for the flavor of the Pringle. Isn't that how it goes?
The fever of the flavor of the Pringle?
Is it Pringles
What
commercial?
was that song?
Once you pop, you can't stop.
No, but there's
The Bears pop the
once you
Pringle.
pop, the fun don't
you got
stop.
the fever for the flavor of the jingle.
That is not anything to do with Pringles.
I don't know what you're talking about, though.
Dude, what are you talking about? It's right here. Fever the flavor of the Pringle.
All right, so my blame game. Last week I went full meatball and went with the refs. Obviously, we're not going there today, even though they had their moments.
They sucked.
With the clear personal foul on Justin Fields. You want to give it to Mariota, which I thought was questionable, but not Justin Fields. But I'm not going there. I could have went defensive line because they just get no pressure, but I'm not going there because I thought the defense overall had a pretty good game, only giving up 20 points. To me, the offensive line had their worst day of the year.
That's a good one.
This is a team that's been running the ball for 200-plus yards every single game, and I know it's a lot to ask for, but today specifically, the Atlanta Falcons defense is not good. And the Atlanta Falcons defense was begging the Bears to run the ball, daring them to run the ball, playing back, playing in zone coverage, dropping as they were not loading the box for David Montgomery. And I'm not putting it on David Montgomery. The offensive line could not open up any holes for David Montgomery. And then, obviously the pass blocking has been a problem all year, and that was no different today as well. But when you add in the fact that they couldn't run block then today, why Tevin Jenkins isn't out there over Schofield when he's, healthy, or, maybe not healthy, but active, is beyond me, especially after the penalties and mistakes that Schofield kept making. I had a real problem with the offensive line today. They let the team down. Justin Fields in particular, David Montgomery too.
Good call. Needed to be underlined. It wasn't great. You want to go one more round?
Of what?
Of blame game.
No.
You're good?
There's plenty of blame to go around. I was going to do a quick read, and then we'll go to bring in Will DeWitt.
Okay.
How about that?
Sounds good.
Shady Rays. Wish I could have put on the darkest sunglasses in the world for that last drive today. But, Shady Rays, they never understood why sunglasses were so expensive. So they set out to change it. You don't have to break the bank for quality sunglasses because our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades featuring world-class optical clarity, substantial durability, and styles catered to everyone and every lifestyle. And the best part about Shady Rays is if you were to run the ball for no reason at the end of the game when you're losing and get popped out of bounds.
There's no snooze you lose with Shady Rays.
And the Shady Rays just break right there, which they probably wouldn't because they're so durable. But if they did.
If you called the worst play call ever and someone punched you in the face and your Shady Rays broke,
I think the Shady Rays wouldn't break. But if they did, they would replace them because they have the best protection program out there. Even with that strong of a protection program, they still managed to make the quality that I can tell you is just as good as any expensive pair out there. And Shady Rays customers agree because they have over 200,000 five-star reviews. And Shady Rays provides 10 meals to fight hunger in America. With every order placed, they've donated over 20 million meals to date. This is exclusive for our CHGO listeners right now. Shady Rays is running their deepest deal of the season. Use code CHGO for 50% off 2 or more pairs at ShadyRays.com. That's right. Buy one, get one free. You can get 2 pairs for as low as $54. Redeem only at ShadyRays.com, where you can find all their newest and best shades.
What's up, Shady Rays? And the ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, committed to helping families, businesses in the communities where we all live, where they will help you save money and they'll help you save energy. ComEd offers facility assessments to help you find your energy-saving opportunities. Listen, you're saving money, you're making the world a better place. 3 to 4 weeks, you'll get a detailed energy efficiency project you can take your current living/business situation to the next level. Don't wait. Get started saving money and energy today. For energy saving tips or to schedule your free facility assessment, that's right, free, go to ComEd.com/poweringbiz. ComEd.com/poweringbiz, or you can call them 855-433-2700, 855-433-2700, or for you emailers out there, one more option, business EE at ComEd.com. All right, now you can bring in Will
DeWitt. It's like a
DeWitt.
seagull, you know?
That was good.
That's the seagull noise, I guess.
I don't know. Are we going to Will? Is that what
Yeah, let's go to Will.
Okay, let's get Will in here.
We need some
Will DeWitt.
grounded perspective, please.
The man behind the diehards. That's what I want to call him.
Oh, yeah.
He's done so much work to get the diehard program up and running, and he's a diehard himself. What's up, Will?
Hey guys, how's it going? I think I put in more work on the diehards over the last month that I've seen the Bears do in this game. But who did the EE? Was that Lawrence? I looked at the screen. I was very concerned and confused.
Yeah, that was Lawrence. That was definitely Lawrence. And all right, what was your take on everything that transpired there at the end of the game?
At the end of the game, it was just a mixture of poor play calling and poor execution. Just another game where the Bears failed to finish a game that they had an opportunity to go out there and win. When I look at this entire game, guys, I just see missed opportunities galore for the Bears that led to this loss here. I have a 17-point differential off of missed opportunities. He had to settle for a field goal after Cole Kmet's big grab, getting the Bears near the red zone early in this game. They had to settle for a field goal, so say they left 4 points on the table there. You had to settle for a punt after DeAndre Houston-Carson forced that fumble that gave the Bears starting field position in Atlanta territory. You missed that 56-yard field goal. That's another -3. Penalties late in the third quarter gave the Falcons a fresh set of downs inside the 20. Instead of giving them a field goal try, they allowed the Falcons to go out there and get a touchdown. So that's a 4-point differential. And then, of course, late in the game, a failed 4th and short by the Bears defense. And then a few plays later, the Falcons got that field goal. So all in all, when you added all those missed opportunities up, that is 17 points in favor of the Falcons. And in a game that you only lose by 27-24, a 3-point game, I just see the Bears continue to shoot themselves in the foot and find ways to allow the opponent to beat them instead of them actually willing themselves down there for victory. So that was my biggest takeaway. I had to watch it at Buffalo Wild Wings, so I didn't get any announcers. It was just kind of like me hanging out with a buddy watching this game. But based off what I can tell from the TV, that was a little bit distant for me. That was the biggest takeaway that I had was just the Bears' inability to capitalize on key situations on really all 3 phases.
Well, I'm just going to ask it because, I think it's even more appropriate with Justin Fields being carted off at the end. There's some video Adam John shared, different people, and he's wincing with his shoulder. But even beyond the shoulder, would you consider resting Justin Fields next week versus the Jets?
Well, if it's, I would like to see what the severity of the shoulder injury is. If it's like a dislocated sort of deal, that probably won't be cleaned up until the off season. If it's like a torn labrum that's severe enough that needs surgery, I'm a person, I've had my left shoulder dislocated 6 times in my lifetime. And I know how much that hindered just my normal life. I couldn't sleep in certain positions without fear of it popping out of place and things of that nature. So if it's something like that, where he has a severity to that degree, then I'm not opposed to resting Justin. I don't think he has anything to prove to anybody when it comes to him being the franchise quarterback of the Chicago Bears. Obviously, we would want him out there getting additional experience as the Bears continue to march their way towards this and through this rebuild. But at the same time, you have to take Justin's long-term health into severe consideration here. And if it's something that would, I guess, put him at greater risk down the road, I'm at this point where I would not want him to go through a situation like that. I'd rather
that's what
him.
I'm going to say, Will. It's like
safe.
Even if the shoulder didn't happen and he was just out of gas like we saw on the final drive, let's just take the shoulder out of it and just look at how he's clearly out of gas. Is it ridiculous to think that giving him a week, because it's just getting to a point now where, he talked about tired legs all week during the leading up to this game. It was clear he had tired legs by halftime of this game. So, even putting the shoulder out of it, I made the thought halfway through the fourth quarter, I'm like, don't play him next week. He's got nothing left to prove to me.
It's a really interesting situation because if you take the shoulder out of it, Greg, for me, I'm torn, right? Because on one hand, you said, he doesn't have anything more to prove. And I hit that point too. He has proven everything to me over the last 5-6 weeks. On the other hand, though, I feel like if you're healthy and you're supposed to be a franchise guy, there shouldn't be any reason to keep you on the sidelines. And if you're out of gas, I think that's a bigger issue too. But unfortunately, I think for all of us here, the shoulder is real and it's a real issue, and we need to find out the severity of it before we can make any rash decision. Same thing with the Chicago Bears themselves, and seeing him getting carted off. As much as I like to see Nick ending up in a video that's going slightly viral after a game, to see Justin being the guy that's getting carted off and still kind of holding that shoulder minutes after that hit kind of took place, that personally does have me worried. And of course, I'm wearing my Justin Fields jersey that I kept in the back of the closet for months. So I'll take a little bit of blame there with my long-term history of bad jersey decisions. I know, right? Seriously, look at this. Why would I do something put this on here? I was going out in the public, wanted to rep my teams, and here I am.
Yeah. What's up, Lawrence?
Will, you sent out a tweet in the second quarter that was stupid. Now we find out you're wearing a Justin Fields jersey too. This is all your fault.
It is all my fault. You're right. Yeah. So the Cordero Patterson tweet is right after he got that fumble, and I was like, "Ha, take that, Cordero! How about them Bears?" And of course, he comes out and returns the kick minutes later. So I feel like I definitely jinxed that and dropped the ball on that one. So I apologize to everyone on the show, everybody listening. That's totally my bad. I should have known better to wait until the end of the game, but I was kind of feeling it at the moment and kind of got excited when you see a former Bear make a key mistake, but he definitely more than made up for it.
I have a question I want to run by you guys. Okay, so this is from Andrew Siciliano on Twitter. This is the 7th time this season the Bears have blown a lead and lost the game.
Is that it?
7th time this season. So in 8 of their losses, they have had a lead and blown it. Most in the NFL. Does that concern you at all?
So if you want to be optimistic about it, last year the Minnesota Vikings had tough loss after tough loss after tough loss after tough loss, and they are going to win the division going away. So that would be the optimistic take, right? The other side of it is you kind of, at some point, get a little worried that they can't get out of their own way. And at the end of the first half today was just a prime example of not being able to get out of your own way. And then for an exclamation point, let's just completely triple down on that in the final drive of the game. So I think I'm in the middle, I guess. Overall, I think I'm probably look at it as a good thing because there's going to be a lot more talent on this team next year and a lot less dead cap space and all that stuff. So I'm confident in where they're going, but I do think there is a drop of concern too.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I just don't. They don't have enough talent. The team is putting up 30 points a week. This week they didn't put up 30, and now we're upset because they couldn't hold the lead. Well, between special teams and defense, they give up, 28 points? So, right?
So it doesn't concern you
27.
that the defensive head coach,
No.
coaching staff, the defense has gotten this bad, worse as the season's gone along. Granted, they traded away a couple players.
That's a big granted.
And then special teams seems to be getting worse as the
They
season.
haven't had a pass rush all year.
They don't have a pass rush. That's
They
fair.
traded away Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, those guys in the offseason. Now you trade away Robert Quinn and Roquan Smith. The defense hasn't gotten a pass rush all year. The secondary has shown signs of life. And so then the margin of error is so small that when Justin Fields throws a pick six or the special teams gives up a kick return touchdown or there's any little mistake or the refs put their hands in it, which they have multiple times this year, any of those little margins of error that are the difference in a win and a loss in games that are decided by one possession, the Bears are never on the positive end of that because their margin of error is so razor thin. So no, I don't.
Will, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with the rest of the guys. Like, I'm not pressing the panic button just yet when it comes to this Bears team in the future. Obviously, having multiple close games in which they go the wrong way. I mean, it sucks in the moment. Like, obviously, it's another game where I have like a pit in my stomach, even just thinking about and talking about the end result. But at the end of the day, like Dave mentioned, like the Bears have not invested a lot into this season. They did not spend a lot of money. You traded away your best assets on defense, besides Eddie Jackson, who's still putting together a career year when you look at his numbers. And obviously a lot of that can be attributed to the poor play to the front seven in front of him. So he has to take on a larger role on the back end of that defense. But still at the same time, if you're not getting any pass rush from your front four, you're not, you don't have many playmakers overall on this defense, and you still have a team that is putting up points more so than I've seen this Bears team put up really every single season outside of like the 2013, 2014 year. Like that's what it reminds me about. It gets me hopeful that the offense continue to take steps. And I know Eberflus has that defensive pedigree, like you're mentioning, Adam, and I know additionally to that too, like he has been known to get quality play out of not like the most talented units. But I think it just kind of goes to show how much the Bears are losing on the talent side on defense. And really too, Allen Williams being a first-year defensive coordinator, I want to take in like some of his growing pains into consideration here as well as we go throughout this season. But no, I'm not concerned for the long term for the Bears. But as much as I understand that it is hurting this team now, I'm going to remain hope that with some additional talent, more investment on this side, really both sides of the ball, the entire team, honestly. But I feel like they will be fine once they find better talent, both via the draft and free agency moving forward.
Sounds like we're all we're shook, but not shaken. We're knocked down,
Shaken,
but not buried.
stirred.
I don't know what the hell I'm saying.
Shaken, not stirred.
I don't know.
James Bond.
We're annoyed, but not dead.
That seven's a big number.
Yeah. Seven's a big number. Seven's a big number. 7 out of 8 losses, you've blown a lead. I'm probably, I'd say like 70% towards the optimistic side that yes, it mostly comes down to a lack of talent, and yes, they can turn that around with all the cap space and potentially the great draft capital they're going to have with, all these losses that have piled up. Like, it may work out for the best. That being said, I see warning signs every single week that I'm concerned about.
The only thing I wanted to add here real quick is, this is an offense that has been scoring 24 or more points over like their last 5-6 games. And I know you mentioned like out of all the losses, 7 of 8 have become, or like those 1-score games, like, but what's the alternative? Being blown out every week? At least that's not happening. Like, it could have been that way, which I think would have been a more detrimental statement if you're saying like 7 out of the 8 losses were from 2 scores or more than 1 score or less. At least they're close. And I know close doesn't cut it, but at the same time, like, I still think it's a better situation than getting blown out at least half of these losses.
I'll give you my biggest reason for concern right now, and I don't want to go too far or get too in front of this, but look, and I think that Matt Eberflus is enjoyable as a guy, and I think that it's a fine hire and high floor, not and a lower ceiling, but that's fine. It's way better where the Bears are off than where they've been through their last 3 coaches with Eberflus. I'm convinced of that. However, the minor call out on Jalen Johnson, like it's on the player. That was a little wonky, all right? And then he was also asked about winning versus developing this week, and he said we're always going to try to win the game. And versus a little bit more of a nuanced answer that he could have perhaps given there. So and where I'm going with this is that it worries me with how he's going to handle Justin Fields and maybe a banged-up quarterback the rest of the way. Is he going to be old school? If he's okay, we're going to play him. Or is he going to be able to have some level of the big picture of the whole thing in mind as he evaluates how he wants to go through the final 6 games of the season? He's got it. There's a pivot now that needs to be made. You're 3-8. The season, any playoffs and all that is over. So how do you want to go about this? And I'd like to see some level of creativity from Eberflus that we sort of have not seen so far as everything that I just underlined.
Doesn't that take a little honesty from Justin Fields though? Because I'm reading here from Nick Moriano here in the Eberflus presser, and they asked about Tevin Jenkins, and he said, this is Eberflus, and I quote, so Tevin before the game said that, hey, I'm still a little bit hurt, but I'm able to be there as a backup if needed in any emergency. So that's where he was at today.
Okay.
So if Justin says, no, I need a week,
he's
never going to say that is the problem.
He's not.
Right. No,
which gets back to what I was talking about during the week. You, as a coach, you have to know how to protect your players.
Right.
It can't just be black and white up to the trainers.
Right.
Right, because there Tevin said
right
was honest about how hurt he was. Justin's never going to give that away. You agree, Will, huh?
No. This kid's tough as nails, and he'll do whatever it takes to be out there in the field. He's a true competitor. I don't think he'd shy away from an opportunity to play if given the chance, which I think goes back to Adam's point of protecting your guys from themselves sometimes.
And Robert's right in the chat. Then Tevin should be inactive. If he's only good enough to be a backup in an emergency and he's not right, I mean, Tevin, we really appreciate it. Thank you for your grit. But you're a guy here that we want starting for the next 5 to 10 years. We're not going to put you out there compromised in a game against the Atlanta Falcons when we're 3-7 in a rebuild. That makes no sense. So he should have been inactive. You're absolutely right, Robert. I agree with you.
These are just the things I think are. I guess my overall point with this stuff has been we just can't gloss over everything because the quarterback's good. These are the things that matter in the future because every one of these decisions we're talking about is going to be amplified even more on a good team.
And Robert makes another good point. Why not listen?
What is this,
why not
Robert show? Come on.
Why not? Well, give credit to my guy Robert. Why not try Larry Borum at right guard? What's the harm there? I mean, I guess you're not trying to get the quarterback killed, but you went out and you tried to get the quarterback killed. I wouldn't have mind seeing Larry Borum try to play a different position. I mean, that wouldn't. I'm like, okay, let's see what he can do there. That's basically what they did with Tevin. I mean, I think he's still more of a tackle, but I wouldn't have hated that.
Will, any final thoughts before we let you go?
Yeah, I don't know about the Borum thing yet. If he hasn't practiced or played at the guard position when Schofield has been giving quality play at the position up until this game, but maybe that's an in-game decision. And if they ended up going that route, I wouldn't really mind. But no, I don't think I have anything else. You guys enjoy Super Chats and all that good stuff. I did check Tankathon right before you guys brought me on. The Bears currently hold the 4th pick in the draft, so they moved up into the top 5 if you're counting at home. That, just like last week, makes me feel a little bit better, but still the sour taste will remain in my mouth until I get to hang out with Braggs tomorrow night during After Dark, and we play some 2 truths and a lie, and then he struggles, and then I laugh, and then I feel a little bit better. So I'll wait till that, Greg. You feel better, by the way. Hopefully you are already, if not here soon. But good stuff, guys. Enjoy the rest of the show, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, there he is, Will DeWitt. Good stuff.
Love Bears After Dark.
All right.
Mondays, Thursdays.
Yep. So tomorrow you get the noon show and then Bears After Dark at night. So plenty of content coming tomorrow. And I don't know if we're going to have any answers. Matty Eberflus has already said what we already knew. Justin Fields went to get more evaluation, and then he said we'll find out more Wednesday. Which is another thing that's starting to get obnoxious. I'm not going to lie.
This one, no. Hey, Flus. You're not gonna make all of Chicago wait until Wednesday for an update on the quarterback.
He's gonna try.
That would be, listen, Lucy and Steve and Robert and Carm and Hoge and Braggs and Benedetto and Kaduk and Flanagan need to know about the quarterback's health before Wednesday. And so does Rocky, Alec, Jimmy, Tony, Brandon, Joe, Rex, Phillip, Tony. Come
Chubbs,
on,
baby, Chubbs.
All right.
Come on.
Let's do this. Let's get to some of these super chats. Lawrence, if you don't mind flying through them and reading them.
Sure.
We'd
Let's get through these. Let's start with our guy, Ryan Burden.
what's up, Ryan?
$30 super chat. Thank you, Ryan. He said, this team will be unwatchable without Fields. So here's some beer money so y'all can make it through next week's game, assuming he sits, and I hope he does.
Ryan, I'm going to agree to disagree. I am fired up for Trevor Siemian, the former Wildcat. If he gets no, Ryan, I'm with you. Unwatchable would be
a Fields-less season the rest of the way would be awful. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'd crawl underneath this table, and you guys could just, I don't know, update me how it's going. But don't play him if he's compromised. I think we all agree.
All right. Next up, Eli. We got you here. I saw that super chat. This is $5. Thank you, sir. We all agreed at the beginning of the year that Fields would make mistakes, have ups and downs. But right now, he's not able to do any of that if they want to win. Talent issues show up late in games.
I mean, I still see him doing good stuff. Like, his only help today was David Montgomery. And then the nice catch that Cole Kmet made.
Yeah, I mean,
I think you can even make an argument that, he did overthrow Mooney. Let's not.
My over passing yards.
I know you would have had it on that play.
Damn it.
But didn't something look off about the route Mooney ran on that?
his comment that I saw, Mark Grody had it. He said that it was his fault because he was tired from the routes that he was running before.
Mooney said that?
Yes, he was tired.
So he did take the blame.
He took the blame, saying that I was exhausted, so I didn't run as hard on that play. And
I hate to say it. That's part of the coaching.
It is.
But it is. I am telling you, it is a wide receiver's coach's job to know who's hurt, who's banged up, who's tired. You have a wide receiver rotation for that reason. And if he's too tired to run the route that's called, somebody else needs to run it. Or you have to communicate it to the OC to not call that play.
EQ's running around hurt out there. Mooney's tired. Fields is tired. This team is just gassed.
Well, that's the other thing. Hits principle. Why are they so tired? That doesn't make sense to me.
I understand why Fields is tired. I don't understand why the wide receivers are tired. They haven't done anything all year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, EQ was banged up.
I was not being complete.
And
they are blocking their asses off, and that does take strength.
Chase Claypool had one catch today. I would have loved
2 catches.
He had 2? Okay,
yeah.
fine.
So now it's worth the second-round pick.
Okay.
Because he made the second catch for 6
Yeah,
yards.
I mean, we got to see something from that before the season
And he
is
still
over.
didn't look like he knew where he was lining up half the time.
Yeah, at the
Right,
end of
which
the
is
game.
perfect. Hey, Chase, run out there 20 yards, stop, and then run as fast as you can, and Justin's going to throw you the ball. He can do that.
All right, this is from #slinging slasher 999 super chat. Is it safe to blame the offense for this game? The D wasn't great, but they were +2 on turnovers. But how you give up 2 sacks on consecutive screens?
I think it's a fair call.
Yeah, those 2 sacks. By the way, one of those I think was on Ebner. If you look closely, Fields went to Treston, and I don't think he I think he was slow to get out on the screen.
If Jake Flanagan is watching right now, I want to know if he's still in on Treston Ebner because it wasn't great today.
Too much of that. That was another thing today. Just keep Montgomery in the game, to me.
Yeah, I was hoping to see.
How many breathers does your boy need?
I was hoping to see Valus back there. Well, the only time we saw Valus in the backfield, he was just sprinting through there a couple of times. He actually, give Valus credit, had a good kick return, and the one part of my prediction that I got right today, that it wouldn't be spectacular, but he wouldn't turn the football over. Didn't turn the football over. Good job, Valus. Although he could have gone out of bounds and not taken the hit that he took on that kickoff.
He bobbled the first kickoff.
He did just a little bit. There was a tiny bobble.
Fine, no problem.
There absolutely was. Lawrence, what else we got?
Youngster Joey, $10 super chat. I hate this defense. None of them should be back next year. Maybe the jackhammer, maybe Eddie. Everyone else can kick rocks.
No. Jaquan Brisker, it belongs.
He said Brisker, right?
No, he said the jackhammer.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's
Oh,
Jack,
yeah.
Jack
That's our
Sanborn.
Hammer
that's our guy,
Sackborn.
Sanborn. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I
Same
made
guy.
my list.
Didn't play as well.
I made my list for Adam if we'd ever gotten into who is developing on this team
Upgrade on
in
the
losses and defensively.
I mean, that's my only takeaway.
These
the
were the
notebook
names that I came up with:
is put together.
Kendall Vildor, Jaquan Brisker, Eddie Jackson in the secondary, Kyler Gordon.
Okay.
They're developing, so I'd keep all of them. Jack Sanborn, Nicholas Morrow, I'd keep them as depth
Morrow.
pieces.
No.
Come on, Morrow's
no,
terrible.
No.
Depth pieces. You can't fill every hole this offseason.
Practice
I thought you
squad.
said death piece.
No, depth. Depth. And then,
Give me a yo-
Justin Jones, a depth piece on the defensive line. Dominique
Sure.
Robinson shows a lot of potential for a young, fifth-round pick.
Sure.
Did he play today? I saw him drop into coverage once.
Okay.
Yeah,
he
that
did.
didn't go well.
Okay.
It's been a weird day for you on a lot of levels.
I'm sorry.
Are you feeling better?
Not really, but
Yeah, no, he's
gonna-
definitely not. I could tell.
Yeah, our guy at the Duke earlier, once that whole thing happened, he said, "I feel the way Braggs feels." Thank you.
well, if you
Thanks,
feel
Duke.
how I feel, you're about to pass out. So
Doesn't seem good.
This is-
no, I'll be fine.
You're
If
good.
Fields can play through it, I'll play through it.
There you go. There you go.
We'll just have to cart you off after the show
I'll
and
try not. Yeah.
shoot a video of it.
I'll try not to run a play where I run you straight through that window. For
$9.99
no
super-
reason, just to get you further hurt.
$9.99 super chat from the Duke. I feel the way Braggs feels.
I just said that.
Oh, sorry.
We're letting Lawrence
I feel
do the super chat.
Well, I couldn't.
to avoid what
whatever
you
There's
just
a lot
did.
of super chats too.
Has whatever happened to Braggs gotten into you now in the middle there?
Mumbles.
Wow.
He's too far away.
Carm.
It's
I heard it.
you have Lawrence abilities that I don't have. Apparently, sometimes you can hear him and I can't. Maybe I'm just.
Okay, Carm, this one's for you.
Thank you.
John Davis, this line can't pass block on passing downs. They just can't. This run, pass stuff just isn't safe to do. We cannot pass block when it's needed. Now it's your turn to read it.
Well,
Let me bring up a hypothetical for you.
yeah,
If the Bears just chose to sit Justin the rest of the season,
no,
could you live with it?
no. Dude needs to play.
Next week, I honestly would be fine if they did it next week. But I need to see him more this year. I need him and Chase Claypool to develop chemistry because at this point, you're not giving Chase Claypool any kind of an extension. You're going to now wait until next year in his contract year to see what you have in him to even consider his future with the Bears. You gave up a second-round pick, so I need Fields to continue to develop chemistry with the guys that are going to be here next year. But I am completely fine with sitting him next week, even if he didn't have that shoulder injury. Now that he does have some kind of a shoulder injury, I'd just sit him out. I wouldn't even worry about it.
But
I don't think one Bears fan would have a
I guess I'm
problem
just
with it.
agreeing with what John said there. Like, they can't develop much more in the passing game because they're not blocking for him.
Well,
but-
before today with Tevin, they were starting to move the ball with more ease. Today, nothing was easy.
Well, look, run on first down, gain 2 yards. Run on second down, gain no yards, gain 1 yard. 3rd and 7, Justin, save us, which I think is what John's talking about here.
That's the playbook.
That ain't a great plan. It just isn't. So
But that hasn't been how it's been the last 5-6 weeks. I mean,
really?
Cole Kmet, wide open touchdowns. I mean, they had more efficiency to their offense. They've been running the ball with authority all season. They're the best running football team in the league. Today, they were terrible running the ball and run blocking. So,
I've had that thought every week. Run, save us, Justin. This is not the first week I've had that thought.
okay, early in the year, I'd be with you, but since the Cowboys game, the Dolphins game, the Lions game, no, they were explosive in all categories until the final drive of games.
Listen, the offense has taken a huge step forward. However, we still do have a little bit of Justin. Just do us a favor and somehow dodge 8 guys and either pick up a first down with your legs or scramble left, go right, and then fire across the field to a receiver that's finally wide open because the play's been going on for 28 seconds because Fields did it. That's and on third down after we weren't successful on first and second down. Somehow that's got to get better. I don't have a great idea of how, but that's got to change.
All right, Bird is the word. I'm really starting to question Luke Getsy and his play calling. Why are you calling QB design runs on the last drive of the game? Throw the damn ball.
Thanks, Bird.
And another one, Joe, he says, and this is in all caps, if another design QB run gets called outside the red zone this season, I'm out on these coaches. Angry.
Look, we've talked about this. There needs to be a balance. And I said this last week. I thought that they had shifted too much towards the running. And I think situationally today that was a problem again, too, especially late. No question.
Thanks, Joe.
And this is another one along those same lines from Sangray. Hot take. Fire Flus, get Peyton. What does Flus do well? Undisciplined penalties. No one swarms the ball. D scheme sucks. Imagine Peyton's scheme plus just Justin Fields.
Well, let's not.
Is he saying Sean Payton or Peyton Manning?
I believe he means Sean Payton.
Okay.
I think he's talking about Sean Payton.
Okay.
Let's not overreact, though. Luke Getsy's still done a really good job this year. We just spent the
Right.
pregame show talking about how he could,
What'd I
be
do?
leaving for a head coach. I do think we
I jinxed Getsy.
we might have to
totally
question
did
whether
that.
or not Braggs was in Getsy's head today, though, because
Yeah.
he's been cyberbullying him on Twitter all week.
Just gassing him up.
I did totally jinx Getsy. You're welcome, Bears fans. Now we don't have to worry. Don't have to
Did
worry
you
about
jinx
that.
him, or
Check.
did you hurt his feelings to the point where
If he's
screwed
on
up today?
Twitter, we may have hurt his feelings if he doesn't have a sense of humor. But if anything, at the very least, we jinxed him with my big mouth.
I think Flus jinxed him. Flus was the one.
Do you
I
want to hear the Justin Fields quote?
I don't think anyone's calling up Luke Getsy if they watch the end of the Bears game today, offering a head coaching position.
Real quick, Richard Ingram along the same lines. Are you guys confident in this coaching staff moving forward? In my opinion, I'm not. I might be looking elsewhere, like future Hall of Famer Sean Payton. So there's another Sean Payton Naperville.
I
scenario.
no. This coaching staff is here next year.
More than that.
Yeah.
All right. So a couple things we need to get to from the Justin Fields stuff that's coming out.
Yep.
And we'll have Nick join us from Atlanta soon. But Nick did just tweet. He said Justin Fields said he hurt his shoulder on the first play of the last drive. So it's not like that was something that was ongoing already. It did happen on that play, which honestly makes it even worse because it just is ridiculous. Now, here's where it gets worse, too, why that play should have never been called. Pretty much every reporter in that press conference right now saying that Fields said he was cramping throughout the fourth quarter. He had an IV after the game, so he's there cramping, and they're still running him like that.
I don't want to be here for what you just said.
Too bad it already happened.
That's really upsetting.
Yep.
He injured his shoulder on a sprint out to the left that was called after he was cramping in the fourth quarter all game.
I said that he was cramping throughout the fourth quarter.
It's just a bad job. It's we all like Luke Getsy. I think all across the city people like Luke Getsy, but that's a bad moment for Getsy and company. Not good.
Another super chat along these same lines from Ramses. People are upset today. Getsy should be arrested for attempted murder on those play calls with Fields broken down. They practice outside. JJ last week. What the flip are we doing? So F health, huh?
Fields also saying, quote, right now the pain is pretty bad.
Oh, great.
That coming from
Sit
Adam
him.
Johns.
Don't even worry about it. Sit him.
Well, yeah, but I mean, whatever.
I guess it's good he's not in a sling or anything. If he had had an X-ray and something clearly was broken, he'd be in a sling.
I mean, if I was Matt Eberflus,
Mark Gauthier is with Braggs. Bears need to sit JF1 until after the bye. Thank you, Mark.
maybe they do. Look,
So bring him back and then against the Eagles and Bills.
Perfect.
if he's healthy and he's normal, he needs to be playing. This is not somebody who's won 5 Super Bowls and we have it all figured out. I understand that.
I'm just literally wondering what else you're going to learn the rest of the season if he's got to do it by himself every single game. Like we've already learned he can do that. Now you got to get him some help.
To me,
this offensive line is going to magically get better.
Listen, they've. I got it that he doesn't have a lot of help around him, and the offensive line is embarrassing, especially when Tevin is out, and it looks like it looked today. But it would be very good for the quarterback and the Bears, for that matter, to actually pull one of these games out. And he also has he's thrown for 200 yards once. 200.
But I guess my point is I don't know that that's going to change.
Maybe
this season with these people around him. It's clear that Getsy thinks they can only if they're in a must pass situation at the end of the game and the offensive coordinator is like, yeah, we got to run the quarterback. This is the only way we're going to win the game. What an indictment, right?
Yeah, I just don't agree. Let him throw the football.
Well, I agree with that. I'm just saying that clearly the offense coordinator thought that's the only.
I understand.
Spread him out left. Hopefully, he makes a guy miss, picks up 20 yards.
Right, but the offensive coordinator has shown that he's made many adjustments throughout just this one season that he's been doing it. He figured out how to use him midway through the year. He can figure out yet another plan for the remaining 6 games, or 5, or 4, or however many he's going to play. He needs to be on the field. And they need to do a better job of figuring out how to keep him healthy when he's on the field.
Yeah, because in my developing Bears list, obviously Justin Fields is developing in a huge way. Khalil
Nick
Herbert.
Morrow.
No, this is offense now. I don't have a problem with Nick Morrow as a depth piece, okay? Now, Khalil Herbert, Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, Cole Kmet, I feel like all are developing in a positive way. But I didn't list any wide receivers, and that's why Justin Fields needs to keep trotting out there when he is healthy, because that's not good. That I don't feel like there is a wide receiver that has Mooney has started to break out here these last few weeks, but apart from that, there is no signs of life from the wide receiver room.
Bear forever with play calling like this. 3-14, here we come. Also, shout out to JagTog with the $4.99 super chat with no comment, but we'll keep moving on. This one, Kenny Ray, $5 super chat. Will Adam or any media members hold Getsy's feet to the fire for running Justin Fields too much, especially on the last drive and 3rd and long? We've been going over this, but yes, I believe that is.
No, but personally hold his feet.
Are you holding?
Like when he speaks
yes.
to the media on Wednesday.
I'm going to light a fire.
Light him up, Adam.
Underneath.
Just don't tell him about my tweets. They were jokes.
Of course. I mean, what do you think? All due respect, what do you think is? Of course, the first freaking question is going to be, "What were you doing on that last drive?" What else? What else would it be?
Do you regret?
Listen, Dan Wiederer and Mark Potash are going to get after Getsy in ways that is going to make me uncomfortable. And if they don't, then I'll do it myself.
We all will. I don't understand. Like, what do you? Yeah, I don't.
Right.
I do enjoy the people that have been in my tweets. Like, well, if you have questions, why don't you ask them? Well, because I'm not in Atlanta right now. I'm asking them on this show where I am.
Yeah. Listen, and we all have there's a mountain of evidence out there that Adam Hoge will ask the tough question. Think he advanced this level in life without asking some tough questions at press conferences in a very adept way? Thank you very much. Okay. What else?
I don't know.
More super chats?
Are we doing more super chats?
Yeah, we can do some more super chats, but we do have a little bit of breaking news here. I know this is a Bears podcast, but we just dropped a new shirt. Some Blackhawks legendary player that wore 81.
I've heard of him.
Beautiful, and tonight is potentially his night where his jersey goes up into the rafters. Those are now live at the CHGOlocker.com.
It's a good-looking shirt.
It's a pretty good-looking shirt, so just so you know, it's there.
Second greatest free agent acquisition in Chicago sports history?
Perhaps that is correct, because there's a guy named John Lester, right?
I was going to say Dennis Rodman.
Oh, of course. Here's another one from the Duke, another 1999. The Duke, thank you. Is Taylor Heineke an established vet, Carm? Because he got the exact same call that Justin should have gotten. Yeah, Carm.
Yeah, Carm.
What did he say?
So the Duke's making I guess your point is that Heineke is white.
Heineke got a call.
I got it. So Heineke is white, so he got the call because Duke was throwing a potential racial component to it. Hey, Duke, I am not. You're never gonna find me as somebody like I don't see color. We all see color. Thank you very much. It's anybody who says that, where they probably lie in life. So, but I. Why is I can't say that Justin Fields is not getting these calls because he's an African American quarterback. That seems too tall for me. Is anybody else with the Duke on that one?
Are we sure that that's what he's insinuating?
He did
earlier.
He did earlier.
Oh, okay, he did earlier. I'm sorry.
It might have been when you were in the bathroom.
And I don't and Duke, I don't even mind that I don't mind you're going down the road. I just don't think you're right on this one. Maybe you are.
Well, I don't. There might be a subconscious. There's no question that there is like a subconscious. I think I would argue it has more to do with playing style than necessarily race, but there's clearly something that is preventing Justin Fields from getting the calls that pocket. I would call them pocket passers more than whatever their skin color is. But it's like, dude, the guy got hit late. It's a penalty. Why is it not a penalty?
100%.
And he never gets it. And I even tweeted it when Mariota got the call earlier. I'm like, Justin would have gotten that
That's
call.
what Jason McKenna just said, that Mariota gets the flag because a hand touches with his foot, but Fields, when kneeling and already sacked, gets smacked with the helmet and still no flag.
Yeah, I mean,
if you're looking for reasons for optimism for next year, the Bears have just gotten a bad whistle, period.
It's been horrible all season.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I mean, does Justin need to throw his arms up more on him? I mean, I know he was exhausted at the end.
Yeah, he can't actually lift his left arm.
Yeah, I know. Like, sell it when you get the hit, like completely freak out,
think he
like
should.
Rodgers or Brady would.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'd have no problem with it if he did that.
Got to play the game, right? That's part of it.
And then if they don't give the flag, then you light the ref up. You get in his face. I know Aaron Rodgers would.
Yeah, Brady's done it. Brady gets those damn calls.
Becoming a scary guy to the officials that way it might benefit him.
Then they talk about it on TV, and the ref has to answer to it a little more.
Yep.
Than if you just – because that was the thing with Derrick Rose when you'd watch him play against, like, the Heat back in the day. He'd get mauled, and Derrick was always the guy that would just put his head down and go right back to it. He would never complain to the refs. And that was in the era of the Heat and the Celtics constantly on every whistle yelling at the refs. And, part of you loved it and respected it that Derrick wouldn't go after the refs. But then there were times where you're like, you almost need him to start pushing the calls the other way. I see that sometimes in college basketball. There's the coaches like Matt Painter that won't go after the refs. And then there's the coaches like John Calipari that will go insane on the refs.
Yeah, or just say how Coach K robbed Wisconsin of the national
Sometimes those
championship.
things can sway officials.
And the Duke wrapping it up there with might be an unconscious bias. Duke, I underline that is very much in play all the time, or not all the time, but it's in play often. Go see when the Bears drafted Mitch Trubisky. That to me fell right under unconscious bias over the guy that was 28-2 and was winning national championships and beating Bama.
Is it subconscious bias or unconscious?
Unconscious.
I think unconscious means you're asleep.
Is what I'm about.
Yeah, that's what Bragg's on.
Okay, subconscious, Duke.
I'm about to be unconscious. The league has
you
I'm fine. It's a joke. Or I would have left.
Okay, good.
Or he'd be laying on the floor.
I'm looking it up.
It's subconscious.
It's
Definitely subconscious.
Next
feel free.
super chat.
I wasn't going to
free to
call
look it
Duke out. I was calling Carm out because he
Yeah,
repeated it, went all in on it.
Yeah.
All right, this is from Philip while Carm looks up subconscious bias. If we're this close with this little talent, imagine where we'll be next year after a good draft. This season is lost. Focus on the positives.
Yeah, I agree with you, Philip, because I saw a lot of people in the chat and some people on Twitter like, this is clear tanking. And I think the results are tanking, but I don't think it is I don't think they're purposely trying to tank. They are, like Eberflus said,
It's an unconscious tank.
It's an unconscious
You guys are
tanking
unconscious.
because they're trying to win. They're in every game. So you can't say to the people saying, "Oh, they're just clearly just trying to tank." I don't agree with that, or else they'd be getting blown out. They haven't gotten blown out in any game they've played, and even the Dallas game where the final score indicated that, they were in that game at halftime and in the third quarter. So this team is fighting their ass off every single week with a severe lack of talent on both sides of the ball, specifically on the offensive and defensive lines. And you have to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff for keeping them in games and the players for not letting go of the rope. They're now 3-8, and I promise next week will be just as close, and they'll probably fall short. Yet again, the Jets look terrible today, so half of us will pick the Bears to beat the Jets,
Not
and
me.
then it won't happen.
I'm letting you know right now, I'm picking against the Bears the rest of the season.
I said that after
Mark it down.
No.
I said that after the
'Cause
Giants.
it's the only way
game.
I'm going to get back to 500.
And they're too hard to pick in these close games. You know, normally most of the time they're going to come out on the bad end of most of these close ones, but yeah, we're all going to pick against them next week, and then they might win. I don't know. Who knows? But they're in every game. You know, Justin Fields and these guys, the whole team doesn't let go of the rope, and I appreciate that. So, yeah, I'll focus on the positive for sure.
Let's go to our DraftKings King of the game.
You didn't do this while I was past time?
No.
No, we didn't.
We wanted to hear what you said.
Oh,
about
you were waiting
Uh,
for me. That was nice.
Kind of a secretly great game for Jaquan Brisker today. 11 tackles. He had the
peanut punch.
yeah, I was going to say the forced fumble on top of the tackle for a loss.
Oh, my
It was a good-
bad.
just a
I
forced
made this
fumble.
really quickly. Yeah.
A peanut punch.
Yeah.
Good job. Brisker,
He had that one on that where we laughed to each other where he had right. It was a long run, but at the end of it, Brisker just laid the guy out of bounds.
I'm still waiting for the absolute just wrecking of somebody in the regular season Jaquan Brisker hit that I haven't quite seen yet. But I was thinking about, right when I woke up this morning, I was thinking, they traded Khalil Mack for Jaquan Brisker.
and shine.
I thought about that too. That'll be tomorrow morning. But they traded Khalil Mack for Jaquan Brisker. That's a good job. Well done, Ryan Poles. Thank you.
Little Max still.
Now, what do you think Pace is feeling right now? Happy that his Falcons are in the playoff hunt.
What is he though? He's like an assistant GM.
Pace really wants that T-shirt.
He's not even he's not the GM, so it's not his Falcons.
He's still
He's a water
works for
boy.
he's
water boy.
he's in the organization with a prominent role, and they just beat his former team that fired him. I guarantee you, he's
If the
having
Bears
a cocktail
want to win a
tonight.
Super Bowl with all these players that he drafted, Ryan Pace probably gets another GM job.
Could be.
I'm serious.
But let's see how many of their players remain. Justin Fields will obviously be here a long time.
Kurt is wondering if Jaquan really had 11 tackles. He had him down for 7. Yes, the official NFL stats provided by the league have him down for 11 tackles.
Erica H in the chat says the term Carmen's looking for is implicit bias. I don't know. We'll
Implicit bias. Okay,
We don't need to get
do we really need to do all this? But
We don't. I can do
implicit
we don't.
implicit means you're aware of your biases and you still have them and you lean into them and you don't care. Versus unconscious.
Unconscious?
Yes.
You looked it up.
Yes.
No, he's right. It was like on WebMD and everything.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
It just seems, if you
WebMD.
look up the definition of subconscious, though, it seems like it would go with subconscious bias. But apparently not, because you have conscious parts of your brain and unconscious.
Hold on.
And Bragg's
would've
is
thought-
unconscious
I
side
just
is
said
about 90%.
implicit is also unconscious. Like, never mind. We're not talking about this. There's implicit versus explicit, implicit versus stereotype, implicit versus confirmation. Kind of. Listen, check in with Dan Bernstein tomorrow 10 to over there. That's not what we're doing.
Unconscious bias is when I'm passed out, but I still blame the refs.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Implicit bias is when you leave the show and and come back here
All I know
and
is
smell like you were at the circus.
Thank you for that. Adam Westby says, I like Mark Carman.
Thank you, Adam.
Adam's a good guy.
I'm Mark Carman alongside a camel from Ringling Brothers.
Oh, boy. I'm just going to keep hitting some super
I don't
chats.
smell anything.
Mark Gauthier, $4.99. With this line, Mustipher should be substituted by the long snapper and have Justin stand back there like he's a punter to give him enough time.
I did question whether or not Justin Fields should be the kick returner today.
It's on the notes.
It's a good way to get him hurt.
It's coming up.
Good way to get him hurt.
Let's have him do that too.
Great hold by Trenton Gill, by the way, on that. What was
phenomenal hold.
What was the game-tying extra point? That was not a great snap, and Gill saved it.
He's on my list of players that are developing.
I just love you.
losses.
They're 3-8, and Braggs has 50 players on his list of developing players.
Let's sign Nicholas Moore to a
Trenton
5-year
Gill,
extension.
special teamers. Trenton Gill, developing while losing. Josh Blackwell, developing while losing. He had a nice play today.
I like Blackwell.
Jimmy
you.
Tony.
Shake your head at me, Hoge.
Glad to see Schofield take the shot to the head. That's not very nice.
That's not.
not very nice.
That's honestly not okay to write.
What the? Jimmy.
Thanks for the super
What are we
chat.
doing here?
That's not nice or okay.
And our guy Chubbs. This is from the blame game earlier. He said the defensive line is horrific. They're to blame.
Chubbs, I agree. The pass rush hasn't been there all season. You saw it earlier in the game when they tried to send blitzes and they'd get picked up and Falcons would throw right in the direction of Sanborn where he was blitzing and get the first down, and the defensive line could help by getting some pressure on those blitzes. But at the same time, the defense only gave up 21 points today. Yeah, we expect better from the defenses we've seen in this city, but 21 points on a day like today, with the talent they have on this team, isn't that bad of an effort. But I agree with your overall sentiment that the defensive line is not good.
It's a low bar right now, but compared to where they've been all season, the defense today was fine. It was not the reason they lost.
Probably agree.
The offensive line is the reason they lost
I
today.
tried to make an argument that the Bears should sign Grady Jarrett by the fourth quarter, but apparently that's not legal.
They left too many points out there, and Fields was running for his life all day. The biggest problem today was poor use of field position, bad offensive line play.
This was the first game
plus
in
play calling
since the Washington game that legitimately wasn't fun to watch. Is that fair? It was more fun than that Washington game.
I was entertained, but it did feel like a bit of a slog or something. I don't know how to put it.
It just didn't. It wasn't good football.
I guess. You still have the Mooney touchdown.
It was early. Like when Kmet made that catch, Mooney made the catch.
Yeah, but then the touchdown
Mooney.
at the end.
The second half.
The touchdown to tie it in the second half. That drive, Fields extending the play. That was unbelievable how he ran 40 yards in the backfield.
There were a lot of fun moments. The Kmet
I
catch,
just
we
think
all
we're
went nuts.
starting to get an expectation level that's raising for this offense. I joked on Twitter. I was like, why don't the Bears score on every possession like I expect them to now? And it was just being tongue-in-cheek. But that is kind of where we're at now with this offense. So when they don't do that, now we're like, the Bears used to average 17 points a game on offense. Now we're expecting them to score 30. So I just think it's a different mindset we have for our expectations for this team.
I think we should get an injury update on Justin Fields from What's His Face.
Our viewers can't see this, but Nick just took a giant shot of an energy drink.
I thought that was Pepto-Bismol.
Guy drinks more energy drinks than anybody I know in the entire world.
He's passed
And
out.
5 Hour Energy, which we'd love to have sponsor
Oh,
us.
he's dead.
Everybody's
Okay.
passed out on this show.
It's just bold.
What's up, Nick?
What's going on, you guys?
Nick, you were there when Fields got carted by. Did you have a good vibe? Did you have a bad vibe? We saw you with the Air Jordans and everything.
Yeah, I didn't know that video was out there, but not good vibes, you guys. And he was grimacing as he was on that cart right outside the visitors' locker room. And then when Justin Fields actually spoke to the media, you could just tell it looked like a quarterback, and he didn't say much about the shoulder, but it looked like a quarterback that was concerned. That's just what kind of the facial expression, the mood, the answers that he was giving. And it is his left shoulder. He did say that it was on that first play of the last drive where he sustained the injury. They were asking doctors, like they couldn't rule out a dislocation or anything yet. Doctors are still looking at everything right now, so he just doesn't know. But doctors took pictures and we'll let them know later. But yeah, just to be completely honest, just for me, hearing him, seeing him, and then him driving over, um, it just didn't look good.
What? Okay. What did Flus have to say then about the play calling on that last drive?
Yeah, so really quick, so he basically said that, I mean, that is Luke Getzey calling the plays there, and that's kind of what they had designed up for that particular drive. But that is just Luke Getzey calling it. He has no input on exactly what is being called. So what you saw out there, like the design runs, just it for me, guys, it seemed like the Luke Getzey was kind of forcing a lot of these runs today, but that's what he said. It was Luke Getzey's calls on this drive, as it has been for the up to this point in the season.
It says here something about that Matt Eberflus was encouraged with his special teams. That can't be true, right? They did give up a kick return that was for a touchdown against a guy who now has the most kick return touchdowns in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, so he was asked, does the 103-yard kick return kind of put the special teams unit in a negative light? But he's like, well, they still did some good things, that unit, with DHC forcing the fumble, Jack Sanborn recovering. Then he really liked what he saw from Bayless Jones Jr. on that 50-plus yard return. So he seems still positive about the special teams unit, despite Cordell Patterson taking it to the house on that 103-yard kick return. But yeah, that's the big negative on that unit, what they're able to do, and obviously Cairo Santos missing the field goal as well.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I'm not. There were good things. You spoke to Bayless.
Yeah, I got a chance to speak to Bayless really quickly, just at his locker. He actually had a jersey from Drake London, who he actually played with at USC, and obviously being the same draft. But just asked him, what was it like being out there active on game day? Because we hadn't seen Bayless for a little bit. He said, you just can't take anything for granted. And he was just really appreciative of the opportunity to be out there today for today's game. And I asked him what he saw in the kick return, what opened up, what worked well for him. He said he saw a gash in the middle of the field, knew there wasn't going to be anybody backside, just cut that way and used his speed to, get the offense in a good position to score out there. So that's kind of what he had to say at his locker, and just being really appreciative of the opportunity to play in today's game.
How about the Darnell Mooney touchdown catch?
Yeah, so I asked Darnell, just was that a design like pick that was supposed to happen? He's like, no, EQ's actually just running a route there. So it just so happened that, it looked like a natural pick play where it freed up Darnell Mooney. But what ended up happening was EQ kind of stumbled over into Mooney's guy, freeing up Mooney, which caused the touchdown to happen. So looked like good play design, but it wasn't exactly according to plan. But Darnell Mooney was able to benefit with that touchdown pass from Justin Fields there.
Cole Kmet have anything to say about his amazing Cole Kmet catch? Best catch in the history of Cole Kmet?
Yeah, so he said he was asked what it takes to kind of make a catch like that, because when it happened here, you guys, I was just like, where did the ball go? Like, there's no way he caught this, and then you see him end up catching this one-hander. But he said the biggest thing to make a catch like that is the focus to be able to take the contact, to reel that ball in, and then to catch the pass with one hand. But he also made sure, as he's like talking about his catch, his highlight, that to give credit to Justin Fields, like that's a good second level throw to be able to hit Kmet in stride, but him obviously making the highlight reel grab to execute that play to the best of his ability.
Nick, was the locker room despondent because they lost, or is it more feeling like this is fairly common and they're just kind of moving through it now and sort of knowing what this is?
It kind of feels like what it has been the last couple weeks, to be completely honest, you guys. It's obviously not very much talking, but I mean, this is like the Bears the last 3 weeks. They obviously lose 1 point to the Lions and just can't, win a game against Dallas or whatever it may be. It just seems like it's status quo, to be completely honest. But it doesn't seem any more dejected than it did a couple of weeks ago, or just the same that it has been with these losses now piling up 4 in a row for the Bears. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's any worse or any better than it has been.
How about Chase Claypool? Any thoughts from Coach Eberflus or anybody, as far as he still isn't getting into the offense? It's only 2 catches today.
Yeah, and that was still, you want to see more from Chase Claypool. I didn't hear anything from Eberflus or himself actually talk about again what the game plan is for him moving forward. But obviously, you want to see more from a guy like that. And you thought the Bears would take advantage of a Falcons defense, passing defense that had given up the most passing yards, but the offensive line could not, block anybody. Just kind of to segue here to Tevin Jenkins. What Matt Eberflus did talk about with him is that, or why he didn't play. He was active but didn't play. So what Eberflus says, so Tevin before the game said that, hey, I'm still a little bit hurt, but I'm able to be there as a backup if needed in an emergency. So that's where he was today. So that's Tevin Jenkins going to Matt Eberflus and letting him know what his status is. But guys, honestly, it seemed like an emergency with how Michael Schofield was playing. So I don't know what it took, what more else it could have taken to put him in the game at that point.
Well said.
For the record, Pro Football Doc, who's pretty good with this stuff, said he thinks it's a left AC joint sprain.
Is that throwing?
No, it's left shoulder.
Okay, I'm asking because I'm stupid.
Justin throws right-handed.
I'm a stupid person, so I have to ask stupid. There's no such thing as stupid questions. Don't laugh, Nick. I've been through a lot today.
I'm asking because I'm stupid.
I'm just being honest.
No.
Okay?
You're not stupid. You're a genius, but that was a moronic question because
okay. I said that
I'm
because
not a
I'm
doctor,
stupid.
but between labrum tears, rotator cuffs, AC joint sprain,
It was an unconscious question.
probably the best. It can also be painful. So hopefully that's all it is. That was an unconscious
It
question.
was an unconscious question. Nick, I got a question for you. I asked Will the same thing. Take the shoulder AC joint out of it and how gassed Justin Fields looked. I made the observation prior to the injury that I honestly didn't care if they sat Justin Fields next week for Trevor Siemian. This was prior to the shoulder injury. Take the shoulder injury out of it. If that was how the game had ended, where would you stand on a take like that?
Look, I think having Fields out there is what you want. He was experiencing cramps though the entire game, Greg. So there was he was feeling it throughout the entire game. But I'm with Fields, playing and finishing out that game. But actually going back to that moronic question real quick, Greg, it's a good question because Justin Fields was asked about does it affect him when throwing with that injury? He says I think it's a little bit pain. He said the pain is pretty bad right now. So even though it's not on his right thrown shoulder,
Nick.
he's still feeling some pain when he does throw the football. So
not so stupid after all.
Well, I do think it probably impacted him on that last throw to Montgomery. I said that earlier. You might have been in the bathroom for that. But
long story, Nick.
But he did say he was throwing to Montgomery, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
There was some speculation he was throwing it to Mooney or something. But yeah, it was just the
Not
throw
a
that got
good
away
throw.
from him a little bit.
Nick, good stuff, brother. Do we miss anything?
Appreciate you guys. No, that's about it, you guys. But real quick, just asking you, did it feel forced the quarterback runs today at all by any chance, especially like in the interior, the defense? I don't know what your guys' vantage point, but it just felt like Getsy wanted to get Fields on the move and did so almost too much. But I don't know if that's how it kind of.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a great day for Luke Getsy. I didn't think it was a great day for the offensive line. The one specific QB design run that I felt was forced was in the first half on 3rd and 5, where they did a QB design run to the short side of the field, and Justin couldn't get the first down. Like, A, why are you running to the short side of the field? And B, throw the ball. I mean, I know we don't complain as fans when the plays work, but it just felt like in that moment they were doing too much of that. So, yes, I agree with that.
Yeah, I just always go back to it's hard for an offensive coordinator to look good when the offensive line plays that poorly. And so I don't I think he had to probably do it more than he even thought he would because I don't think he trusted him to sit back there in the pocket. But late in the game, last drive, too bad. You got to do it. And that play call at the end just seemed – we were all yelling, what are you doing, before Justin even got to the sideline.
It was unbelievable.
Actually, you did that, Carm. You were like, what are you doing? And then he got tackled and now he's dead. Those were your exact words.
Well, he was limping to get to the sideline. He looked like he was
didn't look
carrying his
healthy.
right leg.
Yeah. And then we find out that he's cramping the whole fourth quarter. That's just honestly that's coaching negligence. That's bad. It's really bad.
There's only one person in this town that can play hurt and get themselves to a championship game, and that guy plays tennis on Tuesday nights at Deer Creek.
Oh,
Yeah, Kirschenbaum, I know.
Down goes Kirschenbaum. Cooper up on Friday. Let's go. Cooper.
Not Amari Cooper.
No,
didn't need him.
I'll save that for another time.
All right, Nick. Safe travels.
Good stuff, Nick.
Talk to you later.
All right, you guys. See ya.
Nick down in Atlanta.
Who was that guy that we just
That was Nick. Doesn't know who you are, though.
doesn't know who I am?
Not
It's
when you text
unbelievable.
him.
Notes?
Yeah, we should probably get to Carm's notes.
Oh, no, I got.
All righty. This is a rousing edition of Carmen's Notes, which, just so we know, I don't know what was going on with you today,
Copy notes.
but you just were a box of yelling. And it's on these notes all over the place. Like
well,
you
he brought a box of Jimmy John's, and he was a box.
you bought
of
a box. You acted like this was the Super Bowl today.
Okay, Carm, two things right now. I
Yeah.
love you, okay?
Yeah.
One, the podcast listeners have no idea if you're talking to me or Braggs right now.
I'm staring right
It's
at the listeners.
The podcast listeners
You're-
who are
oh.
listening to this later tonight
That's
or
true.
tomorrow
They
morning.
don't know.
I'm talking
And
about
then
Greg
second,
Braggs.
every time you turn your head towards Braggs, you are not talking in your microphone.
Oh, now I'm getting just double
Man.
flags. Okay.
Get for coming at me. Yeah,
Bend it.
Yeah,
Just
I like
this, Carm.
rooting.
Yeah.
Bend it.
Yeah.
No, you didn't bend it. Bend it at the joint.
I like rooting
AC
for
joint.
the Bears.
The AC joint. There
The
you
AC
go.
joint.
I like
There we go.
rooting for
Okay.
the Bears.
Now what? No.
I'll take the win. I lost
All right.
$20 to my boss. I lost.
That's what was up.
I lost.
That's
a
what was
bottle.
up.
I lost a bottle bet to another guy. That's got
Braggs
a
is doing
big
it again
mouth.
where he just went off and did, like, I don't even know what you're talking about anymore.
He said why I was yelling. I'm telling you, I was yelling. I want the Bears to
All right.
win. I had a bunch of bets on the game.
Here we go. All right. Patterson and Morrow getting smoked early. Patterson and Morrow getting smoked by Cordero Patterson. That doesn't make any sense. I'm off to a roaring start here. That's Patterson and
Please
Morrow.
do us a favor and read the notes that make sense.
10 play, 75 yards, 7-0. Kyler Gordon on the touchdown. Gordon on the touchdown. Did you see that? Do you remember that play? He got beat in the right corner of the end zone. He trailed the receiver all the way to the left corner, never really sped up, and then they threw it to him. It was not a great moment for Kyler.
Kyler did a rough start to the game.
Yeah. Let's see here. I got Reef and Mustafa written down. Oh, because that was when they
Batted
broke down when they batted down the interception. That was a good job by both
Reef.
those guys. Yes, they were both in on it.
I thought Reef's effort was lazy, and Mustafa was the one who really broke that up.
Really? You thought he
Reef was like kind of like.
I thought
He was kinda like, eh.
I thought they both did a good job, but when on the touchdown pass to Darnell Mooney, everybody was happy with the exception of Lawrence Benedetto, who said fuck, and because he had bet the first scoring drive would be 3 points, so everybody was celebrating, and Lawrence was thinking about his wallet,
Yeah, why
which I
not?
thought was amazing, and that's what I would have been doing.
I also would have preferred if it was Cole Kmet because I had the anytime touchdown with him. But
Yeah. So then after that, the Falcons were punting on their own 37 in the first quarter, and somebody on this panel by the name of Greg Bragg stood up and yelled, "Watch the fake punt!" At which point I just thought that was crazy. Your level of panic today on anything was just very high.
He was anxious.
Then there was a fumble right after that point, and somebody on this panel by the name of Anna Hoge stood up and started screaming, "Ball, ball, ball," as our special teams guy would do. So, I had
and then I think he yelled out, Bears special teams.
Yes, and that's when the Bears, got themselves a turnover, which they
And then they didn't do anything with it.
Right. We argued at that point that it would be overturned. I got that wrong. I was convinced they would not overturn it. So congratulations to Adam Hoge on being correct.
I was due.
Yeah. And then I've got the Taquan Graham injury is on here.
Oh, because we were all like, that's not a real person.
Right. We didn't know who that was. And, yeah. All right, page 2. The Fields anytime touchdown hit at that point. Adam Hoge had that in his prop bets. Congratulations.
Congratulations for anybody who took advantage. I did not.
I wrote down that I am sleepy, which was partly because of the Bears' performance at that point, but it was also because I ate 3 bagels.
I think we have some proof that you were sleepy.
Yeah, there I am.
He was sleepy.
Eyes were
What is going on?
A couple times I was talking to him, his eyes were like rolling in the back of his head. I'm like, what? I thought he was mocking me,
is quite
but he
a
was
scene.
legitimately just sleepy.
I had too many bagels. It was a bad job. Too many carbs is not good for me.
Wags bought in like 400 sandwiches from Jimmy John's.
Didn't touch any of them. Looked nasty.
Nasty.
First of all.
Jimmy John's, man, what is the shots fired?
Well,
I
I'll say
love
this.
Jimmy John's actually, but
Jimmy John's is fine. You did bring in a large quantity for literally like 6 people.
No, I'm leaving them for the office for tomorrow. They can have them tomorrow.
That's
they've
very
been
nice
sitting
of you.
out all day, but okay.
that's very nice of you.
Well, as long as they're in the fridge, I think they'll be okay.
They're not. They haven't been for 6 hours.
Right after Cordarrelle Patterson had his touchdown,
Somebody will eat them.
Hoge, by the way, claimed that he was gone at about the 30-yard line, and then he boasted about it afterwards, but that all did happen.
I just wanted to check to see if anybody heard me when I said that.
Right, and then right about after that, you said, should Justin Fields return kicks?
Also, you should clarify the minus 30, not when he was running free.
Right.
Right when he made his cut, you could see every kick return, you're literally just trying to cut the field in half, and if you cut it the right way, it was somebody like Patterson. Not everybody can run away. Somebody like Patterson, yeah, he was gone.
He was gone. I wrote down a David Montgomery block. He had one sweet block today when Fields was running. He absolutely trucked someone. That was a good job by Monty. No, don't do that, Ebner. I think that was you, Braggs.
Yeah, when he tried to cut back in reverse field instead of just keep going
Devin
up.
Hester. Stop doing
Yeah, that didn't work.
Did not work. Him and Montgomery cannot bounce to the outside.
I hated the first.
fat.
Yeah, I hated the 1st and 20 run to. He's not fat. I hated the 1st and 20 run to Monty with 1:30 left at 17-17. What are you doing? Why are we running? It's 1st and 20. Let him throw the football. And then for the first play of the second half, I walked right in front of the screen, and Hoge screamed at me for lack of morals / etiquette.
That was a loaf, man.
That was a loaf.
You stopped right in front of the TV in mid-play.
That was a bad job.
You shouldn't even have crossed. You should have waited until the play was over.
We were
filming a TikTok.
I was filming a TikTok. That's not. Well, I guess it's a TikTok. We were filming.
A video.
It will be on TikTok amongst other media platforms with Casey, and that was a bad job. I apologize. Hoge, that's when you had your Tevin epiphany.
What was my Tevin epiphany?
Your Tevin epiphany was.
If the head coach says it's up to the trainer and the player to not play, and the trainers obviously cleared him because he was active, then was it the player who didn't want to play?
To have an epiphany. And also at that point, that was when Kyler Gordon made back-to-back sweet plays. Kyler had an up-and-down day, but I think overall you would grade it as a pretty decent success, minus the fact that he also got hurt, concussed, and had to leave the game. Dante Pettis, outstanding, just fundamentals, the fake Deke calling for the ball. He's on the right side of the field. The ball's in the left corner.
Fake fair catch.
I thought it was an excellent job. I got there you go, Demo. How was that 3rd down? I don't know what that means.
By the way, the Atlanta Falcons tweeted out Club Dub.
Okay.
I think they're trying to mock the Bears, but it's like they don't know that's not a thing.
We don't
that
do
the
Club Dub
Bears
anymore.
Do anymore.
Dirty birds.
I did think it was aggressive when the Bears did the Dirty Bird celebration. You're 3-7. You're
It's a
not
great
very
dance.
good.
Yeah.
Great dance.
Love Jamal Anderson.
Yeah, let's leave that to Jamal Anderson.
Closing out page 3 was
6th grade, man. Dirty bird.
enough of
All the
Pringle.
rave.
Enough of Pringle.
Jamal Anderson.
No more Pringle. The Trenton Gill bad snap is on the last page. That was a great job by Trenton Gill getting the snap down, up, and good. Cairo to tie it at 24. Joe Thomas made a bunch of plays today. I thought he had and then he got hurt, but I thought he
made one, yeah.
I think there was two, but the one late was
the open field tackle.
The one late
when Mariota didn't follow his blocker.
Yeah.
That was funny. And then he got hurt on the other play that he made.
Mariota is not Justin Fields. I know that. That's my big takeaway from the game.
So enough with Ebner, I think, was Bragg screaming it. Run, Justin, I think, was Bragg screaming that.
Run, Justin.
There was a bunch of stuff that I didn't.
Run, Justin.
You were fired up all day long. Your commitment to this football team, even at 3-7, now 3-8, is impressive, and that will
only
do it.
get 17 of these, and then we spend all off season playing the hypothetical game. So I enjoy the games.
Get ready
week
for it,
to
baby.
week.
I enjoyed today too.
Next year is going to be a lot of fun. We just got to get through the rest of this year.
You got any notes on your notepad besides your list of the entire roster?
That's it, buddy.
You're done with your notes?
That's it.
Your entire roster of developing players?
I like the
on
peanut
3-8
punch.
team?
Hits philosophy was in full effect today. Riley Reef knocking it down. Peanut punch by Jaquan Brisker. Tristan Ebner picking up the backwards pass.
Yeah.
All hits
that was
philosophy
a good job. That was a very good job
in play. So I appreciate that. And then the play calling. There's a lot of I didn't like how I don't really love the half field read plays. I get the offense is limited. So there's times you got to call it, but I just don't like the half field read stuff.
Agreed.
It just eliminates options for Justin, and they never seem to work. So I'll only complain if they don't work, and if they do work, I'll be quiet. So that's about it. There was a bad holding call that pushed the Bears back, and then they missed the 56-yard field goal in the first half. Then the personal foul at the end that they don't call for Justin Fields, but they call a personal foul for Marcus Mariota when that was questionable, and even the telecast was agreeing with that. So those were some of my notes. Justin Fields continues to make wow throws, wow escapes out of the pocket, completely out of gas this point in the season.
Out of gas.
Kind of like this podcast seems to be.
Yes.
Kind of accurate. All right. Hey, Pins and Aces, the official golf apparel partner of CHGO. Got to love that Pins and Aces gear when you're on the course. You're going to get compliments. I'm telling you. These are a family-owned and operated golf and apparel business. They make amazing polos, hats, golf bags. My favorite, the beer sleeve, an innovative product that allows you to store 7 beers right inside your golf bag and keep those drinks cold the entire round. Check out pinsandaces.com. Use code CHGO. You will get 15% off your first order and get free shipping. That's pinsandaces.com.
And if you want to go to the Blackhawks game tonight and forget about the Bears or anything else in your life, Game Time is the hottest new ticketing site that can make it easier than ever to get the best deals for games, concerts, shows, whatever you need. 50-yard line, center ice, up top last row. They've got you covered. The best prices are on the Game Time ticket app. And the best way to support us is by buying your tickets through the link in the description as well. I'm looking at Hawks tickets right now. If you just want to get in the door tonight to see Hoge get honored, there is a
standing room only.
There's a standing room ticket for you. Hang on a second here. That will cost you a lovely.
It says 42 each, but I know that's
$74 for one standing room ticket to get in tonight for the celebration of Marian Hossa, who was on our Blackhawks podcast, CHGO Blackhawks. Check that out.
The ceremony is happening literally right now, so get on your horse.
Is it happening right now?
Yeah, you missed the ceremony if you want to go to that. But you can watch the Blackhawks play the Penguins.
There's not a ceremony at 4:52.
Oh, 100%.
Jay Zawoski is. You've heard of him?
Yeah, I've heard of Jay.
Yeah, he's literally.
It's happening right now.
Tweeting photos from the.
Okay, don't just see if you want to just go to the. Isn't it a 6:00 puck drop? Why are they doing the ceremony?
Correct, but it's a big, massive ceremony. They're retiring his jersey. It's a whole lot of stuff going on.
Okay, all right, whatever.
You can still go to the game.
You can still go to the game,
but why?
I'm hungry. I need another bagel or a Jimmy John's.
There are some Jimmy John's over there.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah. All right, Game Time.
Yeah.
Justin, the scene in the chat, Justin Fields is a one-read quarterback. John, you did not watch the game today if you think Justin Fields is a one-read quarterback. He literally is running around in the back of the pocket like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to find anybody that is open, and then finds EQ on the other side of the field after running around for 35 seconds, keeping his eyes downfield. He's not a one-read quarterback. Stop saying he's only a running quarterback. He's proven he can throw the ball. I'm tired of these narratives. They're not true, and if you think they are, you're not watching the games. Luke Getsy and Matt Eberflus are also developing while
energy.
losing. Luke had a bad day today. He needs to get better. Matt Eberflus, though, the timeouts at the end, not using them, I thought was an improvement from last week's fiasco at the end of the game with Detroit, where he didn't use the timeouts. So those are the other people that are developing while losing.
Moriano's 5-hour energy just kicked in for Braggs.
I was going to say.
I'm amazed at how many people in the chat have endorsed not playing Fields for the rest of the season.
I told you that's what people mean. Well, just the way it looked at the end was so ugly. I'm fine with next week, not the whole season.
CHGO's Beautiful Chaos. Love you, dudes. Good cast. Thanks, Adam Westby.
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. It is beautiful chaos. I'm trying.
I think we had a great show.
Yeah, we also still are not done with our break, but I was just going to let that go.
Oh, yeah, you got...
You know that excitement that Braggs just showed you right there?
Yeah.
That's what we love about him. You can make every play feel that exciting with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and their unbeatable offers. Right now, new customers can make any $5 NFL bet and get $200 in free bets if your team wins. You can boost your winnings with DraftKings stepped-up same-game parlays.
I love DraftKings.
And you can throw down on those stepped-up same-game parlays once per game day all season long. Download these DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code CHGO to get $200 in free bets if your team wins. Just place a $5 bet on any football game only at DraftKings Sportsbook using code CHGO. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Just don't pick the Bears probably for that.
I love DraftKings.
My free advice. All right, guys. Awesome show. Appreciate everybody that hung out with us. And we got 6 more of these. So let's just hope Justin Fields is playing next week.
Any more super chats?
Yeah. Or not. Let's just hope he gets healthy, period.
I know, but I'm not sure I'm ready for the Trevor Siemian experience in this offense.
Who's our third string? Is he still around?
No, you don't want me to say that name out loud.
Peterman? I love Peterman.
Don't you play him on Tuesday?
You know who also love Peterman? John Greenberg.
Elaine Bennis.
John.
Greenberg's a big Peterman fan?
And John Gruden.
Greenberg's fired up. The Wildcat basketball team's 4-0.
No, he's not.
You laughed at me when I said top 5 pick after the Giants game.
Top 4 right now, baby.
Top 4.
It's a good thing. All right, we're out of here. Follow us on Twitter at Adam Hoge, at the Carm, at G Braggs Jr. 23.
I made it.
Braggs, hope you feel better. You did. You gutted this thing out. It's a flu game.
If they had lost to the Texans, we'd have the number 1 overall pick right now, but don't think about that tonight.
Thanks, Roquan.
Thanks a lot, Roquan, not even on the team anymore. All right, talk to you tomorrow at noon. We'll be here to break it all down with Corey Wooten in studio.